Well, PEI poet Bob Jensen has had his words brought to musical life by the Zimbabwe a cappella group known as Black Umfolosi. The music is featured in a new recording called Reason to Believe, songs from the poetry of Bob Jensen. Bob joined us to talk about that and share the first single, but first, he told us how he first came to meet the group from Africa through his work as a music booking agent.
Well, I've been working with Black Umfolosi for, I don't know, it must be a good 20 years.
Okay.
When their Canadian agent retired, somebody suggested that maybe they give us a try. And we've just been thrilled to work with them. They're honestly, they're the nicest guys you'll ever hope to meet in your life. They're immensely talented and easy to tour because they're a cappella. So we don't have to worry about amplifiers and drum kits and guitars and any of that stuff, you know. We've become friends. And years ago when I started putting together this concept of doing an Other Voices recording, which would have different artists from around the world performing some of my poems and music, I thought, I should send something off to the guys and, you know, see if they might be interested. And Tamaki, the leader of the band, got back to me right away, and he said, we love this poem. We'd love to set it to music, you know, sit tight. And would have been like maybe 2 weeks later, they sent this absolutely beautiful song that they had made out of one of my poems. And I was so excited, you know, I almost kind of felt like Paul Simon. So they were really happy with it, and I was happy with it, and we got all excited, and we started talking, and they decided to record some more poems, and eventually we were getting to the point where we had a collection, more than what I would need for the Other Voices project, and I said, well, why don't we just put out an album here? And they said, we would love to do that. They've recorded 9 songs and 6 spoken word poems. And they've been performing my material in Africa and Europe and here in Canada, and they tell me that they get a great response to it. So anyway, it's been a while in the making, but they've made an entire album from my poetry. And the album will be released on May 31st, and the first single, 1,000 Ways to Love the Careless Moon, just went to radio a couple of days ago, and we're already starting to see international airplay for it, which I'm excited about. There was an important BBC program who played it yesterday, and the host, Tim Walker, said, and I quote, "I could just listen to that all night. It's just lush." And I thought, well, there's a quote I can use.
And Bob, what is it like for you to know that your words are being performed by this group all over the world, as you said, Africa, Europe, and North America?
Honestly, it's a thrill. It's really a thrill because they're so talented. They're one of the best vocal groups, from the whole African continent. And certainly in Southern Africa, they're really legendary. You know, they've been at it for a very long time. And I'm flattered to hear such talented musicians embrace my material and tell me that they really like it, and then turn out these songs that are more beautiful than anything I could have imagined.
And do I understand, Bob, that your plans pre-pandemic had been to travel to Zimbabwe?
Yeah, like I toured Australia last year, and the plan had been, I talked to Tamaki from the band, and I said, look, I'm going to Australia, and this would have been a year previous, and I said, I'd love to maybe just do a couple of dates in Zimbabwe. What do you think? And he said, yeah, we can do that. We'll set it up. He was setting up dates for me in Bulawayo and Harare and Victoria Falls, which I was very excited about. Yeah. Things really kind of went a bit south in the country, and Tamaki got in touch with me and said, you know what, Bob, it's too dangerous to tour right now. I'm planning to go back to Australia in 22, and if I can swing it, I would like to try to do 3 or 4 dates, either on the way down or on the way back. It's kind of on the bucket list, and we'll see what happens. It's a little more complicated than than a trip to Summerside. I'll say that much.
We're going to share that first single, 1,000 Ways to Love the Careless Moon. What can you tell us about this piece, Bob, and where it came from for you?
I've always been fascinated with the moon, and I continue to be. It never fails to amaze me how the moon can be so different from day to day and from night to night. So I've written literally dozens of poems about the moon, and I continue to, I'll look up and I'll see something that I never really noticed before about the moon. So the poem was just kind of this little infatuation that I have with this other world that, we see up in the sky. And then, of course, the guys just took it and ran with it. And what I like to do when I collaborate with other artists is really not try to influence what they're going to do. And they came back with some really great stuff, and some of the songs are quite different from the others, which I like. There's lots of different kinds of material on the album.
We're going to hear that piece right now, Bob. Congratulations on this. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very kindly.
Here's Black Umfolosi's interpretation of Bob Jensen's words. This is 1,000 Ways to Love the Careless Moon.
1,000 ways to love a careless moon. I try to find 1,000 ways to love the careless moon. From wheat fields in October to the orange light of June, from its winter scented solstice, filled with crisping charm, to the self-consoling new moon, held in the old moon's arms, risen from the ocean, Christ-like, Christ-like, at end of day, her halo is a beacon to the hungry-hearted bear. Unlike the cruel North Star, affixed upon the sky, she is a moving target that makes the sailor sigh. Have you yet taken title? Like morning church bells rung, the words are sung in Roma, and it is a loving tongue. It is a sacred melody, like David's to the Lord. Holy, holy, holy to the broken-hearted priest, where tears have poured. She calls you by your lonely name and lifts your lonely eyes and fills you like a symphony before the sun can rise. So all you bold seafaring men, and all you gypsy crew, and all you hungry-hearted, fair warning now for you. Love her for her beauty and the sting inside your heart, and love her bright announcement when the scudding clouds depart. Love her as a lover, and love her easy flight, and love her for her beacon on the lonely road at night. But she's a ship upon the sky, she sails upon the tide. Her hold is filled with prisoners where heartbreak does abide. So if you seek safe passage and safe harbor in a fort, remember how she with us on each evening, bright and cold, how each night, infecting light, she lives upon the tide, until the darkness is complete. Upon the heavens wide. I tried to find 1,000 words to love the careless moon, but the heavens would not tether her to love's reckless harpoon.